Alrighty, it's going to be a video on how to replace your radiator on a 2011, 2013, 14 Dodge Charger. Should be all relatively the same. And sorry about the crackling noises. It's winter time and I got my furnace lit. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and remove these plastic guards that are right here. Throw them aside somewhere so you don't lose them. You're going to have clips and bolts right here holding up the top side of your bumper, and then you're going to come over here to your side. You're going to have clips and a bolt holding in the lower side of the bumper, and then this right here, once you get these bolts out that are in here, sorry, you can't really see that well. Once you get the bolts out and the clips out, this side right here pull off, and then the whole bumper will come off. All right, so when you have these clips in here, what you're supposed to do is have a trim remover tool, but I got some wire cutters, dikes, whatever you want to call them. All right, you go ahead and carefully get in between this lip right here, right, and that back lip, not back here. If you pull that out from back here, you're gonna break it. If you get in between this lip, all right, so when you get it behind it like that, don't crimp down on these real tight because you'll end up cutting it. Just get it tightened down a little bit and then kind of like pry back on it. And as you pry back on it, that'll come out. And then you're going to just get behind this one and kind of do the same thing, get behind that. And then that's how you save these without breaking them, cutting them, or losing them. Now that you got your bumper off, what you're going to do is get yourself a pair of pliers. You're going to come down here. Right here down, right here, right where I have this pan. You're going to get yourself a pan, because otherwise you're going to get coolant everywhere. Right where this little hose is, there is a bleeder valve. Not bleeder valve. There is a drain valve right up here. Let me go ahead and turn my flashlight on my camera so I can show you. So your drain valve is right there. Try to fucking point it out to you. Right here, where my finger's on, right here. This is a little like winged nut. You're gonna get some pliers if it's too tight, and you're gonna crack this open. Now when you go ahead and take this out, what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your pan underneath here, and that drain bolt, wing nut, whatever you want to call it, drain nut, you're going to put your pliers on it, if you can find it. All right, you're going to twist it and crack it open. Don't take it all the way off of the pliers, just to crack it so that way you can get it off of your hand. Start twisting it loose. Now when you take this off, don't take the bolt out all the way and let it go, because the fluid will shoot like halfway down your car. So you're gonna, so say this right here, it's part of my hand right here, say that's the hole. You got the bleeder valve that's in there, or you got the drain bolt that's in there. When you back it out, just hold it right here in front of it, so that way the fluid don't go spraying everywhere. If you just crack it open like that, this is how much is gonna come out, and it's gonna take way too long. But if your coolant's too cold, you're going to end up wearing it anyways. So if you take the bolt out all the way and do like what I said, and hold the bolt right in front of it, like I said, you're going to wear it. So hopefully your coolant's a little bit warm. Mine is cold as shit right now. All right, now you can back the bolt out all the way. And this is what your bolt looks like. Just like a little wing nut bolt thread that goes into it. Now, coolant wise, well, that is pissing. You can, it's preferred to get this Dex Cool, because that's what those cars really like, allegedly. You can run like regular Shop Pro yellow. I was running this in it for like a year or two. You could run that in it, but I'm putting the stuff that I'm actually supposed to put in it now. The Dex Cool orange This is for Shop Pro from AutoZone. Those, I'm gonna give you a little tip right here. Those cars take about 4 gallons. Technically 2 gallons is stored inside of your motor. So you're only gonna really need 2, maybe 3 at the most, depending. Ooh, I'm losing it. 2, maybe 3 at the most, depending how much you're missing out on it. So what you can do is right here, this orange cap, right? They sell them in 2 different things. You got the orange cap, which is 50/50, right? Ready to use. This is only going to get you 1 gallon out of it, right? Or this orange cap, which is just the straight concentrate right here. Extended life concentrate, right? This is preluted. So what you're going to do with this, you'll get 2 gallons out of this. It's $17. You'll get 1 gallon out of this, which is $15. So for $2 more, you get 2 gallons. So what you're going to do is you're going to take about half that container, dump it into like another container, like a bucket or whatever, and fill it up halfway with water, and then dump that into your system, and then fill your other half of it with water wherever you just store your other half of it. The lowdown on that. This one is 1 gallon. You get 2 gallons out of that for $2 more. Instead of $30 for 2 of these, spend $17 and you basically get 2 of those. This right here is not your radiator. This is your AC condenser. You got 4 bolts holding this on. I got two bolts holding this on. One right here and one down here, right? So right down there, one up here. There may or may not be a third one down here, and I may or may not have lost it. I do not remember. So what you're going to do is these lines that are right here, these are your AC lines and your transmission. Well, this is right here. This is your AC line. That's your AC return line. This is your transmission lines, right? Do not take those off, because otherwise you're going to have to bleed your transmission and refill your air conditioning. So, like I said, this is just going to go ahead and slide right off. Pull right off. You can let it hang somewhere or whatever, however you want to do it. But that's disconnected, right? So, your next step is going to be disconnecting your radiator hoses from the radiator. In order for you to disconnect your radiator hoses, hopefully they're not in a bad spot. Your hose clamps are here. It's either an 8mm or a flathead. So you're gonna obviously have coolant in these lines. So when you go ahead and take these off, it's gonna make a fucking mess. I can't really give you guys a great angle. Right down there. See it twisting off? Yep. Alright, basically what you're looking for is one of these. It's a hose clamp. See, it's either a flathead or it's an 8mm. Whatever's easiest for you to go ahead and get it off, just do it that way. The second one for your lower radiator is right down here. It's the lower radiator connecting. Now, as you loosen them up, when they rotate like that on you, they're mostly loosened. But what I have to do is get a second hand down there, hold the clamp, and then with my other hand, reach down there with a screwdriver and loosen it up. So I can't promise you the angles that I'm going to give you. Now, I like to try to loosen these up enough so that way I can push them back onto the hose more. So that way when I take the hose off, I don't end up losing that. Why does this thing not want to fucking focus? I push it back onto the hose more so that way when I take the hose off, you don't lose it. Because if you lose that, you're screwed. You're just gonna grab your hose. I slid the clamp up here, like I said I do. And you're just gonna grab it. So you're gonna pull back on it, and as you're pulling back on it, like rock it back and forth is the easiest way to get them on and off. And with your upper radiator hose, try to like bend it up somewhere so that way all that coolant don't just come out. If you're looking to replace your thermostat, right now is the time to do it. This right here is your thermostat housing. So just take your other radiator hose off, inside of here, you'll see the thermostat. You'll take these 2 bolts off. They're both 13mm bolts. This will come off. Your thermostat's in there. You're going to kind of repeat the process down here. You're going to grab that radiator hose and yank it off. But when you do that, have your pan down there because you're going to have coolant come out. You're going to have to get your radiator fan housing off. So right here, you have your temp sensor. One of your temp sensors. Radiator fan temp. So your radiator fan knows when to kick on. And this is a pain to get off. This little clip right here might be easier to push on it with the screwdriver. Yep, that's the method. That is the method right there, fellas. Push on this with a screwdriver real hard, not with the Phillips or anything. So you're gonna put the flathead, right? You're gonna put it on it like this. It's not like this because you don't want to slip off and stab the electronics. You're gonna put it on here right here. Push down on it real hard and wiggle it out. So that's one step. Then you're gonna come down here and it's held on right there, just a little plastic clip. Like that. You're gonna grab this little piece of crap, stick it out your way, and you got 1 bolt right there and 1 bolt right there. And if I'm not mistaken, they're 8mm. Right here's where the hose connects to. Right underneath that, here's the bolt. Take this out. Sorry if this video is long. I like to try to give in-depth detail and show you guys actually where everything's at. Because I hate when you look something up on YouTube for a tutorial and you're looking for the tutorial, you find the tutorial, and it's just some fucking guy that wants to be a mechanic points out, oh, you're gonna take this bolt off. And then he takes the bolt off and it's a jump cut and half the car's apart. I don't like doing that. I like to give you guys a step-by-step guide, even though I don't like doing it myself. But if it helps another person out, it helps another person out. And like I said, the other bolt is right here, right behind your transmission lines. You can take that one out. Like I said, you got plenty of holes in here. Put your bolts somewhere you won't lose them. This radiator fan, you're going to kind of grab this and scoot it out the way. You're going to lift up on it because see that little tab that's down there? Right here where my finger's at? How it is you got a little lip that's down there that's sitting like this, and your fan housing is just sitting on it like this. So it just sits over it. So you're just going to lift it up. It's going to take it off that lip that's holding that onto the radiator, and you're going to pull it off. Lift it up. You're going to push it back. So you're going to lift up and then twist it and then push it down, because getting it down is easier than getting it up. Now the fun part is you're going to have to fight to get this thing out. So the easiest way to do it is to hope and pray that you can push it out, right? Get it out that far. And if you're fortunate enough to have a jack the car up so that way you give yourself a little bit more clearance to pull it out. Or if you're lucky and you actually are good with financial decisions and or bad about it, you have a 2-post lift and you can just put the car on there and you pull it right out the bottom. So now what you're going to do, if you have a old grandfather Craftsman jack that you can fit, shut the fuck up, get out my way. So you can get up here, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it right here on this lower cradle, only right here on this, right? Because if you put it over there or anywhere else, you're gonna end up blowing a hole through your oil pan or wherever the hell you can't jack it up right here. Or this is the lower radiator mounting bracket. If you jack it up right here, you're just gonna destroy everything else. So put it only right here on your lower cradle, or whatever you want to call it, the chassis frame, whatever the hell you want to call it. Throw it right there and jack it up. Right? I haven't moved the fan yet. I just jacked it up a couple inches, gave myself some extra wiggle room. All right, you're gonna grab it and pull it out. So now what you're gonna do, 10 millimeter right here, 10 millimeter right here. And these are the upper support clamps that hold that damn thing in. So I'm just gonna send it with the hope, and I don't give a fuck with this thing. Fuck! Set these off somewhere where you're not gonna lose them. So now your condenser is loose. It's off the radiator. And your radiator, how this works, it's the same exact way as the radiator fan. Like one side at a time. So this way you can make sure one hand, you're gonna kind of grab your hoses with one finger and push against this with the other. So that way you can make sure that these separate. Then you're gonna lift this side up. The reasoning is, you see this little thing down here with the circle? That's where this mounts to. Right? It's the same thing on this side, right there. It's all it mounts to, so you're just gonna kind of pull up on it. Alright, so the only thing that you're gonna really have to transfer from the old one to the new one is this little hose right here. All you're gonna do, get some pliers, put it around this clamp right here, grab the clamp, pull this up around there. Basically you just pull this one off like that, because it sits right here on this old one. You'll put this on your new one, grab the clamp, put that on. Alrighty fellas, I lied. You need to transfer these bushings over, the ones that go down in that hole, because if not, you're gonna fight with it to get in. But now that's kind of like, it's flat and then rounded right here. It's because you're gonna match it up with this. It's flat and rounded right here, so you got to transfer these over to this radiator as well. You're gonna push it on. Do it on top of a box or something, so that way you don't destroy your fins. Push it on. It's the same way as this side. Same side that you transferred over this drain hose. You're gonna push that on. It don't really matter if these are cracked or not. It's just something that holds that down in there. Alrighty, so after I got done fighting with this fucking thing. I got the harness back in, and the mounting brackets back in, AC condenser mounted to that, and the whole system's back in and ready to go. So also, like I was mentioning, right there is your thermostat. That little line, that little eyepiece, if you put pliers on that, it makes it a lot easier to pull it out. It don't really matter how you're putting pliers on it or anything like that, because you're replacing it. So after you get everything put back in, you're going to just grab your hoses and slide them back on, and push that on there. You'll push it on there, the hose. It looks like it doesn't go on there all the way, but you can see this little lip right here, that little ridge. You just push the hose up to that ridge, and that's when it's seated all the way. And this one's kind of the same way. It's got that little ridge right there. You'll just push the hose right up against that, and then that's how you know it's seated all the way. Then you put the clamp on there, put everything back together, and start bleeding your coolant system. If you want to know how to bleed the coolant system, I have a video on that in my channel. I'll put a link to it down in the description. It's real easy. You just fill the reservoir up with coolant, and then you crack this bleeder valve open. And if your bleeder valve is seized, right here is your temp sensor for your coolant. You could just take your temp sensor out and it'll bleed that way, like I had to the other day when I put these Mishimoto hoses on, because this bolt right here is seized and it's about to strip out, so I just took this off. All right, well, that's the video. If you guys need any more help with anything else, just go ahead and drop a comment and I'll try. I reply to almost everything. I read all the comments. Even a couple months later, you can go on my channel and see that I reply to people like months later. But make sure you like and subscribe and follow for more content on Dodge Chargers. Maybe I'll do a video on how to clean your engine bay, because this right here is just all it's all caca. So put your engine back together.